Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today is one of those episodes you're just not going to want to miss. We have our candidates for national president-elect with Tony Parish and Dawn Portner. And so Tracy and Christy interview them, and they ask them just a whole slew of questions to get to know them a little bit better. Everything from what inspired them to run to the biggest challenges that they see within the organization, and even what they envision their future to be in exchange, regardless of whether or not they win. So another great episode. Hope you enjoy this one, and we'll see you again next week.
Welcome to Talk Exchange. I'm Tracy Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Christy Lindahl, Director of Communications.
Christy, it's that time of year. We're gearing up for the National Convention to be held soon in Omaha.
We are.
We have two excited people with us who are getting ready for their run for national president-elect. So we appreciate people taking the next steps on their leadership journey. We have two excellent qualified candidates. So in order to help our members and anybody listening worldwide, because we have a lot of people that listen worldwide who are not members, gives those people an opportunity to learn about exchange. And it gives our members, many of whom will be voting delegates at that convention, an opportunity to get to know the candidates.
Yeah, because, you know, every member has their own story.
Yeah,
their own reason about where they are in the organization, how, why, all of the W's.
Yes.
And it's great. It's a great opportunity for the members who have met neither of these candidates, you know, to get a gleam into what they have to say and if they think that person's right for the organization.
Absolutely. Maybe who they connect best with, maybe who speaks to them in a way that they see their club moving. So
yeah, you know, and with 115 years of history, there's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
So
yep. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So we have with us today Dawn Portner and Tony Parish. So we'll alternate each of them. So Dawn, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself and your background in exchange.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and very excited to hopefully take this next step, like you said, Tracy, in our exchange story. So thank you very much. I've been a member since 2005. I currently belong to the Exchange Club of Wheaton, Illinois, which I helped to build back in 2022, and also the Exchange Club of Will DuPage, which is the former Exchange Club in Naperville that we're trying to rebuild. And I've served in many positions in the organization: club president, district president. I'm the immediate past RVP for Region 3. I was on the national board from 2019 to 2023. I've also been a volunteer field representative for, well, probably since 2017. I've helped to build 3 clubs, and I've sponsored 11 members, and I've served on several committees throughout the organization, club, district, and national levels. But the one thing I think I'm most proud of is for the past 13 years, I've been a parent aide, a volunteer parent aide for our Child Abuse Prevention Center here in DuPage County, which is about 30 miles east of Chicago. And it's something that I've enjoyed doing and look forward to helping my next family. So that's kind of my background in exchange.
Nice. Thank you. Tony, same question for you. Tell us about yourself and your background in exchange.
Well, Dawn's got me by a year. I joined in 2006. Like a lot of people, when they join exchange, I knew nothing about it at all. I was invited to come pour beer at an event, and that's how my club raises funds. And when I went and showed up and started pouring, and then everybody tried to explain to me, it's like, yeah, we do this, we donate our time, we donate our money. And, you know, at that time, the club donated a little over $100,000 a year to the community. And I was just wowed and awed. And of course, I signed up immediately. You know, I was pretty young in our club at the time, but I started off on the board, of course. And then, you know, what's what always happens. Somebody says, hey, I think that you should run for president-elect. And so I did. And then I was president. And then, you know, we needed a district director in exchange. And then the next thing you know, I was the district president-elect. And Dawn's smiling because she knows exactly what happens. And then after I was district president, I went back to district director for a little while because I love communication amongst all the clubs in our Billings area. And then I was asked to run for district president again, and then regional vice president. And so this is where I'm coming off of my journey as regional vice president. And I absolutely love what I've been doing for the last 4 years and before that. And I've been on numerous committees as well. So I'm excited for every next step in Exchange.
Nice. Thank you. Next question. Tony, why don't we start with you this time? What inspired you to run for national president?
Well, I'd like to say that I really want to stand up on that stage and say I'm going to Disney World, but it's another way to give back. My Exchange story, just like everybody else's, is a matter of stacking layers of a foundation on it. And every time that I do something, I find a little bit more of a way that I can help Exchange and help grow Exchange. And so that's what I want to do. This is just the next level. I've been very fortunate over the past 4 years to get to travel all over the country and meet so many amazing members and learn from different clubs. And I would like to take what I've learned and, also add some of those things that I thought that we could be doing a little bit better. And hopefully that'll once again let me give back even more towards the Exchange.
Great, thank you. And Dawn, same question for you. What inspired you to run for national president?
This is something that I've been thinking about probably for just under a year. I started thinking about it at the national convention last year, and something that I hope that I've kind of prepared for over the years. But as I said in my introduction, I've been a parent aide for the last 13, 14 years. And being able to work with families, being able to see those successes, seeing the power of this program over and over again, not only personally, but through other voices, I think it's something that I want to try to embrace even more and try to strengthen that program, not only the Parent Aid program, but obviously our national project, the Prevention of Child Abuse. And I think we can take that to the next level and hopefully help with growth, hopefully help with, increasing sponsorships and donations. But I think it's something that we need to recommit to and something that I want to be a part of. So that's kind of what's driving me. But I also, I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe in our entire program, our other areas of impact. So I try to do something in every area every year with our clubs or on a regional level or a district level. But, I believe in everything we do. And I, like Tony, I just want to be able to continue to serve. I enjoy going out and meeting other people. I think one of the things I enjoyed most when I was on the national board was going to the district conventions and meeting people and kind of bringing it all back home and telling me why I'm here and why I want to continue to serve. So that's kind of why I want to do this, and I'm just hoping for the best.
Great. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Dawn, so we'll start with you this time. What is your top priority if elected national president?
Well, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that it was growth. There's no doubt that, we're going through a period now where I know other service clubs are going through the same thing. I belong I'm in an area where we have, Rotary, JCs, Lions, Kiwanis, obviously Exchange Club as well. And we're all going through the same thing. We all talk to each other. But I think it's growth, and it's being able to find different ways to grow, not giving up, being able to continue to show the value of this organization in every community, no matter where we're at. And then being able to listen, being able to think out of the box and come up with new ideas and not being afraid to change and not being afraid to listen. So I've had a chance in the last several months to talk to a lot of people across this organization. And that's what they're saying too. When I ask them what they think the main issues are, 9.5 times out of 10, it's growth. And I think we need to be able to think out of the box and come up with different ways so that we can continue to help our communities in the future.
Thank you. And Tony, the same question. What is your top priority if elected national president?
I would have to agree with Dawn that it is paramount that we grow Exchange, right? But one of the ways that we need to do this, and I like what she said about thinking outside the box, but I think we need to bring excitement back to the clubs, right? Our message needs to filter from the top down so that people understand that we understand where they are, where their clubs are, and the hardships that they're going through. We all know that, civic organizations are shrinking in size and people don't have enough time and they don't have enough energy, but exchange is so broad in what we do. There is not a single person in our country that can't find something in exchange to where they can be passionate about. And so we have to go to our communities, whether we're already there or we're not there, and we need to make sure that people understand what exchange is and that it's not just a cookie cutter model. They can make it what they want to make it. And whether it's, a internet club or whether it's a nightclub or a breakfast club or however they want to meet, however we can get them to engage, we need to be able to help meet them and guide them through it and not just leave them alone.
Thank you. And to follow that up, how would you strengthen our nationwide network of membership if you became national president? Dawn?
I mean, one of the things that I talked about before is the people I talked to across this country. But one of the things I'm hearing is that people don't have problems finding volunteers for their projects and their programs, just that they don't want to belong to an organization. They don't want to pay dues. They don't want to attend meetings, but they want to help. They want to help their communities. So I think it comes down to a point of, you have to keep asking. I think you have to keep showing your value. I think you have to make sure that it's the responsibility of every person to find people to join the organization. If people leave your organization, if people leave your club, do an exit interview. Find out why they left. Learn from those experiences. Use it as a chance for improvement as opposed to we did something wrong. It's something that we can continue to grow and continue to see things happen if we just listen, step back, and watch people. And I think it's a chance for us to look at our community and make sure that our clubs are made up of our community members. Make sure that we're joining local chambers. For example, in Wheaton, they have a nonprofit fee for people to join. Obviously as a nonprofit, you're not paying the full fee, but you get all the benefits of those fees. So not only join, but start working with some of their committees. Look at your VFWs, look at your school groups, volunteer at a local market. Maybe they'll let you set up a table. We have an opportunity coming up with our club where we might be able to go to the local library and set up a table so that we can talk about who we are. Look at resource fairs. Don't be afraid to try anything new. We have, like we said before, and I think we'll probably say it again, we have a lot to offer people. Like Tony said, we have something that would go across everybody's abilities, everybody's wants for helping and serving. And I think we just have to continue.
Sorry, Dawn. We're going to have to stop you there. Tony, same question. What would you do to expand membership engagement, enhance membership engagement across the national network?
I would say let's bring the excitement back through communication. One of the things that we always find out is even in our organization and everybody has access to the information, but we hear, I don't know that, right? When I was district president the first time, I don't feel that I did a good enough job in communicating and getting that buy-in from my club presidents. And Russ Finney, past national president, had a conversation with me. He was president at the time. And he said, well, what did you do? And I realized that I didn't communicate with everybody in a way that they felt comfortable with. And so the next time I was district president, I called every club president every month. I was a nerd. I made an Excel spreadsheet. And to be quite honest, I think that as a national president, we have to make that investment, whether it's calling every club at least once, every club president at least once, to let them know that we're on their side and that we want to help them any way we can and ask what they need, not just tell them what they need, but to ask what they need. I really feel that by creating that relationship, you will bring excitement to that club and then it will go up the chain.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Next question is to Tony. Tony, what is the leadership style you would use as national president?
I want to be open and approachable. I want to communicate regularly with everybody so that they know that they're not alone with whatever they run across, the good and the bad, right? We always want to make sure that we're highlighting the good, but clubs struggle and they need to know that somebody's with them. So working with the club presidents, the district presidents, the regional vice presidents, the VFRs, everybody, I believe that letting everybody that's in exchange know that from leadership down, top to bottom, we're there to help them grow, and do what's right in their community to bring impact, because that's what everybody joined to do. Everybody joined exchange to make an impact in their communities. And so we want to help them with that.
Great, thank you. And Dawn, same question. What is the leadership style you would use as national president?
I'm the type of person that loves to bring people together. I love to collaborate. I love to be able to set goals, put timelines onto those goals, set goals, and also succeed. I mean, I want to be able to be continue to look at our successes, but also look at different ways that we can succeed. I believe in transparency. I believe in doing the right thing. And I'm never afraid to say that I don't know. I'm never afraid to say I need help. I'm never afraid to say, can you help me? Can we do this together? Because I think that we're more powerful in numbers than we are alone. And I also believe it's a lot more fun to do things together. But I believe, just like Tony said, I think we need to go across the organization and not be afraid to say, I need your help. Because there's always that one person that's sitting in the corner or might be in the back and doesn't know how to get involved. And sometimes you might have to go up to that person and say, can you help? But I believe in collaboration, working with others, and being open to change.
Great, thank you. And Dawn, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing Exchange today?
Well, I think we talked about it in one of our earlier questions. I think it's growth. And I think it's being able to come up with new ways to bring members in. I know one of the things that we've always done here, we've done it in Wheaton, and we've also did it in the past with Naperville, is meeting with our community leaders every year and finding out what they need from us. Not always us going to them, but what do they need from us? And a good example of that is, back in September of 2001, City of Naperville needed someone to run their September 11th ceremony. Well, they knew about our Americanism program and they turned to us. 25 years later, we're still doing it. So it's something that I think that, we have to go introduce ourselves. We have to make sure we're not afraid to work with other service clubs, for example, and, and listen to others. I think you really have to listen and then not be afraid to make those changes. Those changes are needed. And then being able to say, this might not work, but maybe this way will work. But I think we have to continue to grow and find different ways of doing it and just be open and honest to change. Because I think that's what's going to be needed in a lot of different areas throughout the organization.
Tony, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing Exchange today?
I would agree that it is our failing membership. We need to identify that. Seems to be a lack of engagement by the majority of the membership. And so we burn out our leaders, quite frankly. We need to be developing leaders. We need to be growing our membership. And so once again, communication. I am all about communication and talking to whomever, wants to have that conversation. Like Dawn said, we can engage with our communities, and I fully agree with that. That's an amazing way. But if we don't have the people to do that because we keep losing people, that's where we need to be. And so we need to just be forthright with the membership, let them know that we need to grow and we need to inspire them, right? And give them the reason to grow. We always talk about why did you grow or why did you join Exchange? And not too many times do people say, why do you stay? And the why do you stay in Exchange is the biggest reason why we can grow. Everybody's story, what they've done, what they want to do in Exchange is an amazing way for us to turn the failing into growth, right? So everybody's story is what they're passionate about.
Great. Thank you both. So, Tony, we're going to start with you again. How do you plan to drive donations and financial support for Exchange's areas of impact?
Well, I think that our foundation has been doing a really good job thinking outside the box over the past few years and really trying to do different things. I've always thought that you need to have somebody locally in every, whether it's on the district board, that can reach out and talk to people in the in the district where they understand, they know it's a known face or whatever else, and so they they can reach out. Hey Joe, what's going on, and I really just think we need to have a local representative for each district that can reach out and engage the members that they know and ask them to donate and explain the reasons why. A lot of times, every year, it seems at conventions, people don't understand the gravity of what the foundation does. They don't understand that $45,000 for the scholarships and what the symposium is about. And so they hear 1,200 and they panic. And they don't realize that it doesn't have to be 1,200. It's nice. We all want that, right? But it doesn't have to be that. It can be the 5, it can be the 10. And so having that conversation with somebody that you know and that knows you can help bridge that gap of like, oh my God, I can't do that, to, yeah, I can do that. And now I understand the reason why.
Thank you. Don, same question. How do you plan to drive donations and financial support for Exchange's areas of impact?
I mean, one of the things that I've been thinking about for a long time is how to grow our prevention program. And I think the key to our future is growing that program. And I know that, just by the successes I've had as a parent aide, the people that I've talked to across this country and the successes they've had, I think we need to continue to tell our story and bring some of our parents in. Bring up the parents and talk about the successes that they've had with our programs. I think we need to make sure that our members understand the prevention program and how they can help. I believe that we need to partner with other national organizations that are similar to ours, like Prevent Child Abuse America or Family First Network. Leverage some of their resources. They can leverage some of our resources. We can work together. I know that this is going to be a little bit out of the box. I know that we've started to use a marketing firm, but I think we need to look at a national marketing program that talks about prevention, but then also talks about our other areas of impact as well. We have a great story to tell. And I mean, I wouldn't be here. I don't think Tony would be here if we didn't have that story. And we've done it for so many years. And I think we just need to be able to sit down and say, let's do some brainstorming. Let's find people that can bring in those resources. Let's find people that we can talk to, people that we've helped. And I think through those stories, then we'll bring in additional sponsorships, donations, and hopefully members. I think that's how we're going to grow this organization in the near future, is through our prevention program.
Thank you. Dawn, next question for you first. What does Exchange's mission mean to you personally?
I mean, to me, I think it comes down to serving my community, and it's supporting our families, it's supporting our youth. Every project and every program and fundraiser and volunteer effort that we do needs to support our mission. And I think that we need to continue working with others to make our communities a better place to live. We look at, for example, the prevention program. Not only are we trying to have stronger parents and then stronger families, that leads right into our mission of helping to make our communities better places to live. So it all comes together, and I think we just need to continue to tell that story. But to me, the organization is about serving and helping others.
Great, thank you. Tony, same question. What does Exchange's mission mean to you personally?
This one's really deep. I didn't grow up in the best of households. And so a lot of what our prevention of child abuse program really hits home, right? Unfortunately, I suffered through some of that. And so when you see what other people are doing to try to help prevent, I'm all in all the time, right? I'm going to be wherever our programs need to take us. I'm super passionate about that. Between friends and family, I've had so many people serve in the military, And so our Americanism, is super relevant to my life, right? And just like Dawn had said, everything that we see out there. Sorry, I'm a little emotional on this one, but everything that we do is for unity, for service, and we're out there to help our communities, and that's why I think that Exchange is the best product that the country has to offer for community service, bar none. And that's no disrespect to any other organization that's out there, because they all do amazing things. But we do so much more, and we have the capacity to do so much more. And that's what I'm about. I'm about the National Exchange Club.
Great, thank you. How about some final thoughts, Christy?
Wow.
From
you know
the
what?
candidates? What?
You guys, tell us what you envision your future being in Exchange.
Nice.
Regardless of whether you become our national president, regardless of, anything that you know to be the future, how do you envision this being part of your life?
Good. Who's that for?
Both of them, I guess. Well, I'm sorry. I was just so in awe of the answers. Let's start with Dawn, because, we just let Tony stop talking. So
I think no matter what happens in July, I have the love and the passion for this organization, and I have for the past, 21 years. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe in this organization. I wouldn't be as involved if I didn't believe in this organization. People always say when I started back in 2005, it was for a selfish reason, because I wanted to be an event planner and I wanted to run RidFest. I had no idea what the Exchange Club was about. And then I found out what the areas of impact were. And then I found out what the national project was. And then I got involved as a parent aide. And, and someone once told me that if you ever have a flat tire, no matter where it is, you're always going to find an Exchange Club member to help you. And it's family. You look forward to the conventions. You look forward to learning about each other and the different things and the trials and tribulations you go through. But I've never belonged to an organization like this before. And like Tony said, and probably for different reasons, but it is personal. It's personal to see the impact that we've had in the families that we've helped, the money that we've donated, and just the projects that we do, and to see the smiles on faces when we give a kid a flag. I mean, those little things, or you give a veteran a thank you for their service. And we have something to offer everyone. And I want to continue to see this organization grow and be able to continue in the future. I want to see it. I mean, I probably won't see this, but I want to see it for another 115 years, another 120 years. I want to be able to be here. And no matter what happens, I don't think my role is going to change.
Thank you. And Tony, what about you? Regardless of how, the vote turns out at this upcoming convention in Omaha, where do you envision Exchange in your life and you in Exchange?
Not to piggyback off of Dawn, but I don't see it changing. I would love to be national president-elect, but the title in itself doesn't make the person makes the title, right? And so if I'm elected, if I'm not elected, I'm still going to be involved in my club doing all the things that they need to be. And I will be there at the district level to help the district. I have told people this year when I've been in communications with them that no matter what happens in Omaha, if they want me to jump on for one of their midwinters and give a presentation or talk or help, that's what I'm there for. Once again, this organization is the best thing going, and for me to help any way I possibly can, whether I'm national president-elect or whether I'm Tony Parish, member of the Breakfast Exchange Club of the Yellowstone District, that doesn't change. I am Exchange until the day that you guys kick me out, and hopefully that's not anytime soon.
Excellent. Thank you both so much. You've really given us some great insight into, your passion for Exchange and where it belongs in your life. I'm sure our listeners are going to have a lovely time getting to know you both, and probably a difficult decision ahead.
I think so too. It really strikes me how both of our candidates, Dawn and Tony, I mean, truly are in this for the right reasons, have exchange deeply embedded in their heart and their lives. And it's really nice to see.
Yeah, that's an important question. Why are
Absolutely.
you running for this office? Can tell you
Yes.
everything you need to know. And I think we're confident that we'll be in great hands with either one of these people.
I think so too. I wish we could elect both of them.
Amen.
Yes. Well, thank you both for continuing your leadership journey and exchange. We appreciate you. It's been delightful getting to know you a little bit differently today. We appreciate it. To our listeners, if you'd like to learn more or to find an exchange club near you, please visit nationalexchangeclub.org and our Facebook page. And thank you for listening to this episode of Talk Exchange.